Hi there, I'm Lucy Ascham, a family and systemic constellator based in Sheffield in England and working online as well. So I recently was talking to a psychotherapist who I met on a hiking day, and they were asking various questions about constellations work. And it kind of highlighted to me that there's three main sort of myths around the work. Because of the word constellation, sometimes people think that it's actually about astrology, and it isn't. It's really, the truth is that it's more to do with, as you map out some of the things that you're carrying around your issue or challenge, that you get a person, there's a distance to another element, could be an ancestor, or it could be something that happened in your life or their life, some particular event, and that we're looking at the distance, the relationship and interconnection between you and this element, this person. And that makes up a unique constellation of the people in your system. So it could be within your body system, your family system, your community, those different systems. But when we make a sort of living map out of it, then that makes a particular shape, and that's why it's called constellations, not to do with astrology. Although I believe some teachers, facilitators do use that in their work, that's not where that idea comes from. This therapist also asked me, well, is it not a bit voyeuristic to go and watch and look at other people doing this private healing work? And, the word voyeuristic can have negative sort of connotations, that you're somehow getting pleasure from somebody else is suffering, or it might even have sort of sexual connotations. But it isn't really like that. In a constellation setting in a group, we're lending ourselves to support somebody else to do this deep work that is nigh on impossible to do on our own. So when there's a group of other people there, then I, do my best. I'm sure all constellators do their best to make it as safe as possible. We have conditions in place where, there's confidentiality, where there's consent. Is it okay if I touch you or not? Who can we talk about, with this work afterwards? So, not naming specific people, not having things which could be identifiable to a particular person who was there on the day, helps to make these things safe. So, yes, one of the other beauties of actually doing the work in public, if you like, in a closed group setting, is that you find that actually these things that you thought were just about you and your own particular idiosyncrasies or bad luck, actually there's a lot of commonality. And that can really help to dissolve some shame and help with our healing, because, there are other people who understand. There are other people who may be having that shared experience as well. So, yes, that sort of touches on the third myth, which is about unpacking some of these issues can be traumatic. And if it was simply a matter of unpacking them and then leaving somebody with a, all everything sort of just hanging out, then of course that might not be at all helpful. But that's not understanding the true sort of aim, if you like, of these constellations, which is looking at some of these kind of invisible sort of trauma threads in our life, making them more visible and getting them from the sort of deep freeze where we might not even realize that they're still living within us and impacting our life. And when we're able to safely name them, make those interconnections more explicit, then what can happen is that we go beyond simply unpacking it and naming it and making it explicit. Then the constellations tools come in, and that's when we can start to do the repair work, resolving some of these entanglements, misidentifications, and the sort of wrong ordering of people in a family system. So, there are definite sort of rules and guidelines for what a constellation will do and what it won't do. I'll go into that in another post. But yeah, these ideas, hopefully that'll give you a better understanding of some of the things that are in constellations and some of the things that aren't. If you've got any questions, please let me know.